This is my game button multipliers, and it's actually starting to look good. I've added items, buttons, data stores, and a lot more since this project started. But there's one problem. I need to be making that money! And some other stuff, but we don't care about that, do we? So let's just get into it. The first thing I did was to add a playtime stat, as pretty much every single game has one. So I decided to add it too. I added the text box and added the stat to the data stores. After that, everything worked except the GUI. I tried finding the problem, but nothing. Checked dev forum, nothing. I recoded the whole script and it still didn't show. I sure hope it wasn't because of a super trivial issue. It was because of a super trivial issue. Specifically, I changed a copy of the GUI script and not the original, but I fixed it and everything worked just fine. After that, I added a leaderboard. I mostly just copy-pasted code from the first leaderboard and it was fine. There was a complication as I was using the wrong data store type, but I fixed it. Now that I'm finished, it's time to move on. The next thing I decided to add were badges. I made the badges and had the badges given when you pressed a button or had this set in case you played the game prior to the badges. There were no bugs, so I decided to change the map a tiny bit. Well, that was surprisingly short. Remember when I added the player billboard setting in episode 6 and how it was a pain? Well, turns out that I could have avoided all that by just making the billboards transparent. So I changed how the setting works. Speaking of reworking, I really did not know how to make billboards back in Devlog 6, which led to a weird wobble sometimes. So I fixed every single billboard. Again, no bugs. Now it's time for adding a nighttime setting. I added the setting to the GUI and made the time of day change when you toggled the setting. I could have ended it there, but the night mode just looked a teeny bit off. So I did some stuff off camera and now it looks slightly less off. Now it's time for the part we've been waiting for, donations. I started by making a leaderboard for the donations by copy-pasting the other leaderboard, and that was easy. However, the donation buttons, not so much. The flex items didn't function how I wanted to, and I had to spend 30 minutes making it work. I didn't know how to make donations, so get ready for a lot of back and forth. I actually didn't have any complications doing this, so it's time for... Since it's almost Christmas, I'm going to upload this after Christmas, won't I? I decided to add holiday decorations, but the first thing I have to do is center these trees. After that, I added snow to the taiga. Now it's time for the actual holiday deco. I added snow to the top of the plains trees and added snow to the ground of the plains and meadow. After that, I made a script that made the holiday deco show if it was near Christmas. I also didn't know how to make it show during a certain time, so even more back and forth. It worked fine though, so we're done. And that's the end of the video. You can click off now.